Hare Krishna. We'll start the reading of Srimad Bhagavatam, first part. Let us start with prayers. Please join me with folded hands. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We are reading Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, chapter 15, which is entitled The Pandavas Retire Timely, and we will start the reading today from text 15. Yo Bhishma Karna Guru Shalya Chamushvadabhra Rajanya Varya Rathama Mandala Manditasu Agre Charo Mama Vibho Rath Yuthapana Mayur Manamsi Cha Drisha Saha Oj Acharchata. Translation. It was he only who withdrew the duration of life from everyone, and who in the battlefield withdrew the speculative power and strength of enthusiasm from the great military phalanx made by the Kauravas, headed by Bhishma, Karna, Drona, Shalya, etc. Their arrangement was expert and more than adequate, but he, Lord Sri Krishna, while going forward, did all this. Obviously, for those of you who are listening to this series of video for the first time, you would have understood that this is a continuity, and in order for you to really understand what we are reading about and what is the story, you will have to hear from the very beginning. So please go to the Conscious Living Center, the channel on YouTube, and you can view all the parts there. Each part is only for 15 minutes, so you can catch up very soon. And then you can receive for 30 minutes every day, so that you can hear ideally 15 minutes in the morning and 15 minutes in the evening, or according to your convenience, you can take out those 30 minutes and read this amazing literature of Srimad Bhagavatam along with me. I'm not only reading the Bhagavatam, the Sanskrit text, but also its translation and purport, which is like commentary by Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who is the founder of ISKCON and is also my Param Guru, that is my Guru's Guru. And I feel very honored that I am having an opportunity in this lifetime to read this transcendental literature, and I am sharing this auspicious thing with all of you, those who want to do this but probably are not finding time or the resources to go and buy these and read by yourself. So it is kind of nice for all of us to read together, and not just read or listen, but also maybe discuss about our understanding of this, so that we all can benefit not only directly from the scripture but also from each other. So with this, I'll continue the purport for text 15. We are obviously reading right now what Arjuna is sharing with Yudhishthir about his feelings about Lord Sri Krishna, who has left this world as part of his Leela. The absolute personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna, expands himself by his plenary Paramatma portion in everyone's heart, and thus he directs everyone in the matter of recollection, forgetfulness, knowledge, the absence of intelligence, and all psychological activities according to Bhagavad Gita, chapter 15, verse 15. As the Supreme Lord, He can increase or decrease the duration of life of a living being. Thus the Lord conducted the battle of Kurukshetra according to His own plan. He wanted that battle to establish Yudhishthir as the emperor of this planet, and to facilitate this transcendental business, He killed all who were on the opposite party by His omnipotent will. The other party was equipped with all military strength, supported by big generals like Bhishma, Drona, and Shalya, and it would have been physically impossible for Arjuna to win the battle had the Lord not helped him by every kind of tactic. Such tactics are generally followed by every statesman, even in modern warfare, but they are all done materially by powerful espionages, military tactics, and diplomatic maneuvers. But because Arjuna was the Lord's affectionate devotee, the Lord did all this Himself without personal anxiety by Arjuna. That is the way of the devotional service to the Lord. Text 16. Yaddoha Shuma Pranihitam Guru Bhishma Karna Naptri Trigarta Shalya Saindha Vabha Hilikadhyaiha Astranya Modha Mahimani Nirupitani Nopasprashundra Nrahridasa Mivasurani. Translation: Great generals like Bhishma, Drona, Karna, Bhurishrava, Susharma, Shalya, Jayadratha, and Bahalika all directed their invincible weapons against me. But by His, Lord Krishna's grace, they could not even touch a hair on my head. Similarly, Prahlada Maharaja, the supreme devotee of Lord Narasimhadeva, was unaffected by the weapons the demons used against him. Purport: The history of Prahlad Maharaj, the great devotee of Narasimhadeva, is narrated in the 7th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Prahlad Maharaja, a small child of only 5 years, became the object of envy for his great father Hiranyakashipu only because of his becoming a pure devotee of the Lord. The demon father employed all his weapons to kill the devotee son. Prahlada, but by the grace of the Lord, he was saved from all sorts of dangerous actions by his father. He was thrown in a fire, in boiling oil, from the top of a hill, underneath the legs of an elephant, and he was administered poison. At last the father himself took up a chopper to kill his son, and thus Narasimhadeva appeared and killed the heinous father in the presence of the son. Thus no one can kill the devotee of the Lord. Similarly, Arjuna was also saved by the Lord, although all dangerous weapons were employed by his great opponents like Bhishma. About Karna: born of Kunti by the sun god prior to her marriage with Maharaj Pandu, Karna took his birth with bangles and earrings, extraordinary signs for an undaunted hero. In the beginning his name was Vasusena, but when he grew up he presented his natural bangles and earrings to Indradeva, and thenceforward he became known as Vaikartana. After his birth from the maiden Kunti, he was thrown in the Ganges. Later he was picked up by Adhiratha, and he and his wife Radha brought him up as their own offspring. Karna was very charitable, especially toward the Brahmanas. There was nothing he could not spare for a Brahmana. In the same charitable spirit, he gave in charity his natural bangles and earrings to Indradeva, who, being very much satisfied with him, gave him in return a great weapon called Shakti. He was admitted as one of the students of Dronacharya, and from the very beginning there was some rivalry between him and Arjuna. Seeing his constant rivalry with Arjuna, Duryodhana picked him up as his companion, and this gradually grew into greater intimacy. He was also present in the great assembly of Draupadi's Swayamvara function, and when he attempted to exhibit his talent in that meeting, Draupadi's brother declared that Karna could not take part in the competition because of his being the son of a Shudra carpenter. Although he was refused in the competition, still when Arjuna was successful in piercing the fish target on the ceiling and Draupadi bestowed her garland upon Arjuna, Karna and the other disappointed princes offered an unusual stumbling block to Arjuna while he was leaving with Draupadi. Specifically, Karna fought with him very valiantly, but all of them were defeated by Arjuna. Duryodhana was very much pleased with Karna because of his constant rivalry with Arjuna, and when he was in power, he enthroned Karna in the state of Anga. Being baffled in his attempt to win Draupadi, Karna advised Duryodhana to attack King Drupada, for after defeating him, both Arjuna and Draupadi could be arrested. But Dronacharya rebuked him for this conspiracy and they refrained from the action. Karna was defeated many times not only by Arjuna but also by Bhimasena. He was the king of the kingdom of Bengal, Orissa and Madras combined. Later on he took an active part in the Rajasuya sacrifice of Maharaja Yudhishthir, and when there was gambling between the rival brothers designed by Shakuni, Karna took part in the game and he was very pleased when Draupadi was offered as a bet in the gambling. This fed his old grudge. When Draupadi was in the game, he was very enthusiastic to declare the news, and it is he who ordered Dusyasana to take away the garments of both the Pandavas and Draupadi. He asked Draupadi to select another husband because being lost by the Pandavas, she was rendered a slave of the Kurus. He was always an enemy of the Pandavas, and whenever there was an opportunity, he tried to curb them all by all means. During the battle of Kurukshetra, he foresaw the conclusive results, and he expressed his opinion that due to Lord Krishna's being the chariot driver of Arjuna, the battle should be won by Arjuna. He always differed with Bhishma, and sometimes he was proud enough to say that within 5 days he could finish up the Pandavas if Bhishma would not interfere with his plan of action. But he was much mortified when Bhishma died. He killed Ghatotkacha with the Shakti weapon obtained from Indradeva. His son Vrashasena was killed by Arjuna. He killed the largest number of Pandava soldiers. At last there was a severe fight with Arjuna, and it was he only who was able to knock off the helmet of Arjuna. But it so happened that the wheel of his chariot stuck in the battlefield mud, and when he got down to set the wheel right, Arjuna took the opportunity and killed him, although he requested Arjuna not to do so. Napta or Bhurishrava. Bhurishrava was the son of Somadatta, a member of the Kuru family. His other brother was Shalya. Both the brothers and the father attended the Swayamvara ceremony of Draupadi. All of them appreciated the wonderful strength of Arjuna due to his being the devotee friend of the Lord, and thus Bhurishraya advised the sons of Dhritarashtra not to pick any quarrel or fight with them. All of them also attended the Rajasuya Yajna of Maharaj Yudhishthir. He possessed one Akshauhini regiment of army, cavalry, elephants and chariots, and all these were employed in the battle of Kurukshetra on behalf of Duryodhana's party. He was counted by Bhima as one of the Yuthapatis. In the battle of Kurukshetra, he was especially engaged in a fight with Satyaki, and he killed 10 sons of Satyaki. Later on, Arjuna cut off his hands and he was ultimately killed by Satyaki. After his death, he merged into the existence of Vishwadeva. Trigarta or Susharma, son of Maharaja Vridhakshetra, he was a king of Trigartha Desha, and he was also present in the Swayamvara ceremony of Draupadi. He was one of the allies of Duryodhana, and he advised Duryodhana to attack the Matsya Desha or Darbhanga. During the time of cow stealing in Virata Nagara, he was able to arrest Maharaj Virata, but later Maharaj Virata was released by Bhima. In the battle of Kurukshetra, he also fought very valiantly, but at the end he was killed by Arjuna. With this, we will end the first session of reading for today. I'll see you all back very soon with the second reading. Till then, be safe, be happy, be conscious. Hare Krishna.